Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to another Fernbus video, and we're back in France today. It's been a while since I've been in France, and I was looking around to see if there's any bus stops I've not yet unlocked. We spent a little bit of time in France, didn't we? Quite at the beginning. My home base actually, right at the start, was in Paris. But I've not been here for a while. Toulouse I've got unlocked, but Biarritz isn't unlocked. It's undiscovered over there, poking out on the coast there. So I thought we'd do a run from Toulouse up to Biarritz. So I've created this little route. Looks like there's a few roadworks as we get towards the end of the route. So we'll just scroll through the list. This needs a button, this, doesn't it? The more routes you create, the longer it is. If you're on PC, you can just click your route and then point down at next. We have to scroll through on console. I don't think that has been really considered. I think I'll go with this one. I've not run this bus for such a long time, the Man Lions Intercity R60. I think we'll have the date as it is now, the time as it is now, weather on dynamic, why not? We've had the new patch, the range looking good. Everything's looking good. Everything's pumped up to epic. We've got it all up to full whack. There's still some work needs doing. If you didn't see the short from yesterday that I put on, I'll put a link to it now, coming up in the right hand corner. That was interesting. I think you might enjoy that one if you've not seen it. Take a quick look at that. But yeah, back in France. Nice to be back in France. So here we are at the depot in Toulouse, the FlixBus depot. Let's get everything set up. Get some passengers picked up. Let's close that first of all. Get everything where it needs to be. Get the aircon up to a pleasant, wow, let's have it 23, shall we? That might be a bit warm. Let's put it on 22. Back in here, we need the Wi-Fi, the routes, everything. All set up. Is that thing particular to this bus, this stop brake? Stop brake is off right now. I'm just wondering if that's particular to this bus. I don't recognise that on other buses. Anyway, not to worry. Shall we go? Gotta say, on epic. Oh, watch out for that tree, lad. That reminds me of yesterday's short. On epic, you gotta agree. It looks so much better. The PS5 copes with it, no problem. There's no issues at all. We're just going to hold up traffic now whilst this traffic light changes. Nothing new there, is there? So I'm using this bus. I don't know if you guys have picked up the bus packs that have been released. There's been 2 bus packs now. I took a look at the price and I thought, I'm not into buses enough to pay that asking price for those buses, so I haven't got the bus packs. But I know some of you have. Some of you have put in comments for the other videos that you've got the bus packs and you're quite enjoying them, and that's great. That's great. You know, I play TSW a lot. I'm more a fan of trains than I am of buses, if I'm honest. So I can see, you know, that the prices of the bus packs could be good value to you if buses are your thing. Absolutely understand. So, you know, if you've picked those up, I hope you're enjoying them. I'm probably a little bit jealous that I don't get to try a few more different buses, but yeah, it's a little bit expensive for what they are, I think. But the game itself, again, it's looking good, isn't it? And it sounds as if there's a few more things going on in the background. So once we've been to pick up our passengers in 3 kilometres, we'll have a talk about what's come up regarding Fernbus since the last video that we did. I don't know when the last one was, actually. Not sure. But anyway, it's all good. I hope you're all enjoying it. I love it. I really do. I think it's great. I think it's great. And although we've got some, you know, we've still got some flickering going on. the graphics now look absolutely great. And we're going to get held again, aren't we now? So this Audi's going to stay where it is. Not to worry. It's busier than I thought. That's probably to do with the time. Look at that. He's going through. Look at that. He's going through the red. Is that a rule? That's not a rule, is it? In France? Some of you guys that have driven in France will tell me that. I don't know. I know in the US you can sometimes do that, can't you? You can go to the right when it's on a red. I don't know if you can do that in France. Anyway, he did it. Let's not complain because we're at the front of the queue, which means as soon as that light goes, we're off. And the bus stop's just going to be just ahead of us, probably just on that bend. We're getting some glare there off the course as they hit the bend. So I've got the effects up to epic as well, and as a few of you have commented, if you do that, you will still get those reflections like that, and you will get, you know, the mysterious blue orbs, which you may have seen on a previous video that I did, where I saw those for the first time. I wonder what the heck was going on. So you can turn those off with the sliders now, but we're probably going to see those. So Toulouse is a pretty cool bus station, isn't it? There's buses up there, look, on the top level. So let's go in. Let's make sure we do it correctly. I remember this bus stop now. We came in from the right hand side there on one of the previous streams, and I remember actually beaching it there on that little island in the middle. I don't know if you remember that, if you're a regular on the channel. I got stuck right on that island and I had to reset the bus. Couldn't move. Completely beached it. And that was after quite a long... Oh, there's our stop, look. That was after quite a long drive, I recall, as well. So that wasn't the best thing to happen at the end. Let's see if we can straighten up in this a little bit more without hitting that red pole. There we are. That's alright. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll flick it into neutral and we'll put the parking brake on. Then I'll just open the front door. Let's jump down and have a look what everybody's doing. Open one of those. The bags all start to go in. That's a pretty neat effect, isn't it? Right, so we've only got one stop today, so we know if people are coming with us. He isn't. Yeah. Yeah, you can come with us. So they're all speaking German still, even though we're in France. We're starting in France as well. Right, just a couple more to pick up. Exactly, a couple. Though we do have one lady who wants a ticket. Is she going our way? She certainly is. Alright, one to Biarritz. Check that. Okay, that's you done. Right, has everybody got the bags on? Let's get underway then. A straight run up to Biarritz. So we'll do this business end. Get that on. And of course we need to put it in reverse to leave. Start the ride. I'm learning, you see. I'm learning. Okay, here we go. This outside view is just catching the roof a little bit. So let me just lower it down. That's better. Right, let's go forward. We don't want to go upstairs. We want to go around the side, back onto the street level. So yeah, we've got 308 kilometres. We've got up to Biarritz. We've got some train tracks there on the left. I did see, when I was in Germany the other day in Fernbus, I did see an ICE train. Modelled. Und entsprechend gekennzeichnet. Oh, that was close. So könnt ihr euer Smartphone die gesamte Fahrt über nutzen. Wenn ihr eure nächste Fahrt auch gleich mobil buchen wollt. So there are trains on the tracks. I don't know if there are in France. I don't know if anybody's seen any trains on the tracks in France. But
Auf FlixBus.de stehen täglich brandaktuell
that'd be nice. I
Infos
suppose you
und
would have
Städteverbindungen
to
für euch bereit.
model the different
Natürlich
countries'
wollen wir
trains, wouldn't
unseren
you?
Service ständig weiter verbessern. Für Feedback zu eurer Fahrt nutzt bitte den Fragebogen, den wir euch per E-Mail zuschicken. Wir danken für
There we
eure
go. Thought it wasn't going to let us
Aufmerksamkeit
out for a
und
moment
wünschen eine
then.
entspannte Fahrt und
Right, let's
viel
find a
Spaß
slot
an
where we can
Bord
get
bei
out.
FlixBus.
This looks good.
Hello and welcome to FlixBus.
And I will say, oh, there you go. You see, I will say
We can get
that
you to
since
your
the
favorite
patch,
destination
the
today.
AI
Before we
is
set off, we would
behaving
like to
quite
share some
strangely
information about
in a
the
lot of
journey.
cases.
The wearing of seatbelts
Now,
is compulsory on board
previous
the
to
bus.
the patch, if you were already coming
Please keep
across
your
like I
seatbelt
was,
fastened throughout the entire journey.
and the AI
In the
approached,
seat pocket in
it
front of you.
would stop and it would wait for you. Doesn't seem to be doing that now. It's gone to how it was right at the beginning, almost, because the AI was a massive problem. I mean, we've also still got the AI checking up on the motorway, as we might see once we get out of Toulouse. That's another thing that's still going on. But yeah, in the towns, if you're waiting at a junction, if you set off, basically, in a lot of cases, the AI are not paying attention now to the signals or the order of priority. It seems to have really reset itself, and I'm really not sure what's happened there. So, hopefully, Aerosoft and TML and everybody else are aware of that. I'm sure they are, because they're playing the game themselves. Okay, so we're back into Traffic Jam Simulator on the PS5, and hopefully this queue is going to go down. You can see it's backing up now since we've come into it as well. A couple of cars are going through the lights at once, I think that's all. Let's just see how we're doing. Yeah, red again, look. So you see how near I am to that car in front? I presume, right, see, I would say that's a safe distance, but you know when we get to the summary screen at the end, I'm assuming that's going to tell me I broke the safety distance. So if I look at that blue car that's in front of me, and the one that's in front of it, is that the safety distance there between the blue and the black one at the lights? Is that the safety distance that you're meant to keep to pass that once you get to the summary screen? I don't know. I don't really care. I mean, he docks you a couple of points, but what can you do with the points anyway? With the XP? The only thing that matters is if you're doing a bit of a challenge with your friends, doesn't it? And you want as much XP as possible to beat your friends. But that's it. I don't see what else it's used for. Right, so I've gone through the lights. Right, they're stopping. Good, we avoided a crash with the AI, so we're alright. So, I think we can finally get underway, as the FlixBus announcer says. We are in France, so the toll booths are back. It feels like ages since I've been through one of these. There we go. Alright, good. We've paid our way. We're coming off here actually to the right hand side and joining this this motorway above us. So yeah, thanks for watching everybody. Thanks for coming in and enjoying this this little jaunt over to Biarritz. Nice of you to come in. If you do enjoy the video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, that's much appreciated. And we'll try and grow our little community as much as possible. And I'm pleased to have every single one of you on the channel. So, now that we're underway, once we get onto the straight and narrow, I'm going to put the cruise on. Right, that didn't work, did it? See that? I'm using the D-pad right. It doesn't do it in this bus, does it? there's a discovery. That's because I haven't used this bus. So let me on the straight. I'll show you what I did. So, right on the D-pad. Well, it shows the symbol, look. It shows the symbol, but it hasn't put it on. But it zooms in instead, so that doesn't work. Right, okay, so we're going to have to do it the old way. That's really weird. So that's not right, is it? There's Biarritz, 1,000 metres ahead. Yeah, that's not right. So there's another problem. They need to make sure that that D-pad right button for the cruise is available on all these. And as you saw as we zoomed in, the cruise button, you know, the cruise little symbol did come up. Oh my word! It did come up on the dashboard there, so it thinks it's put it on. But the minute you back out again by pressing the D-pad, because you can't drive staring down at the dashboard, the cruise comes off again. Looks good over at those mountains, doesn't it? So once we get around these curvy parts, I will go back to the old way of putting on the cruise. And hopefully we can get there without the passengers complaining about anything, about the aircon being the wrong temperature, needing a rest, spilling the coffee, breaking their nails, calling me a rowdy. Let's do this now, shall we? I actually went the wrong way then. I should have gone the short route by going to the left, but there we go. Right, we got the cruise on. I would expect now that the majority of this is on the motorway, like this. And I want this car to come past me on the inside, but it's not going to. Oh, what is he doing? Why would he possibly want to do that? The traffic's checked up. He wants to come across and fill the gap that I've got as my safety distance. Here we go, you see. Here's the AI again. There's no reason for the AI at the front of this pile to do this. In fact, I'm going to go round them on the hard shoulder because that's just daft. Sort it out, mate. Oh, bloody joker. I'll tell him. Sonntagsfahrer. Even I'm learning it now. Okay, let's get the speed back up. We'll put the cruise back on again, but this time I'll flick the buttons to the left so it doesn't take me half as long to do it. And we're not accelerating too fast here because we're going uphill. Yeah, see, we're getting the glare off the back of the cars still. But I want to run everything on Epic so that I can really see what it looks like. I must admit, you know, just recently playing this, I haven't thought about going back to on the road. Which of course is a similar type of thing, but in trucks, isn't it? I just haven't thought about it. I think I'd get too disappointed. You know, I will go back to it, but I'm just waiting for some kind of update on that. If you're wondering where BusSim 21 has gone, BusSim 21 has had a patch this morning as well for the PlayStation. I don't know if it's rolled out anywhere else, but it might have just been PlayStation specific. I noticed it was around 350 meg on the PS5. I looked at the patch notes though. It doesn't mention anything to do with the save file between PS4 and PS5. So if you're wondering where BusSim has gone, I'm still waiting for that issue to be fixed really before I start playing it, you know, in any great quantity. So BusSim 21 will definitely be back, but I want to play on the PS5 version with my existing save coming over, so I'm hanging on. I know they're working on it, so if you're in the same boat, they're definitely working on it. They're also fixing some of the trophies that are not working as well at the moment. So we'll give them some time. You know, as long as people tell me they're fixing things, I'm not too worried. It's when we have radio silence that things start to bother me a little bit. So yeah, I'll leave them to get on with it. I'm following them on the Discord, the Astragon Discord, so it's all good. But going back to Fernbus, we had some quite major news, didn't we, at the end of last week? You may or may not know that we will be getting new maps in Fernbus. And the first one of those looks like it's going to be Denmark. So we're going to get two. We're going to get Denmark and we're going to get Poland. Those are the two that have been confirmed. Looks like Denmark is nearer to being released than Poland. I don't even know if work on Poland has started yet. But there was some footage of Denmark shown by Fabian on his channel. And he was driving around. He was driving around Denmark. He was on PC, obviously. They did say as well, it's going to come out first to PC and then to console. No time frames, because I know a lot of you will ask me, when is that? I don't know. Now, sometimes when Aerosoft say a date, the date doesn't mean anything anyway. I think we all kind of know that sometimes. So there hasn't even been a date on this yet, but he was playing it, which suggests to me, you know, it's at some advanced stage anyway, so it will come to PC first. Didn't say whether this is a paid DLC. I bet you it is. You know, I would expect it to be a paid DLC. Will you pay for maps? And would you pay for maps before you would pay for bus packs? I'd be interested to know that if you let me know down below. I'd be more tempted to buy a map because of the reasons I gave you at the beginning about the bus packs. Now it just depends. It depends really. It depends what price the maps are as well. I think they need to be reasonable. But from what I saw of Denmark on Fabian's video, it looks good. It's encouraging. He went across quite a nice bridge. Go and check his video out if you haven't seen it. And Poland, and then he kind of talked about speculation about what's next. He said he knows what's next, but he's not saying. And you know, obviously, I was particularly interested in a UK map, and he said we could go to X or we could go to X, and one of the X's that he mentioned was the UK. So would he mention them by name if they weren't eventually coming, or if they weren't on the plan for the future? I don't know. I think if they are coming, yeah, they potentially could be a year or two away, you know. They've announced these two. Now it just depends how, I think it depends how difficult it is to create new maps for this. You know? I mean, a lot of the scenery, oh look at that tree there on the right. There you go. We've got random trees everywhere, not just on the way to Prague, it seems. A lot of the scenery will be randomly generated, won't it? I think the cities, you know, there's more of a real city that you can see once you're in the city. Does that sound like gibberish? You know what I mean? The cities are mapped out probably better and more closely to the real thing than the outlying areas like this are mapped. So, you know, it's possible, isn't it? It's possible that they're not too difficult to create. If that's the way this game's going, right, then I'm happy about that though. Because I'm all for oh, there we go, nearly the barrier doing that again. I'm all for new content coming out for any game. You know, not at the expense of fixing, you know, what's already a problem. That you know, if you give your player base some faith, by continually addressing issues in the current game and fixing things that people have requested, and you know, that will help you sell DLCs. You know, let's talk about Train Sim, right? Let's talk about TSW. They don't get it right every time when it releases, but think about it. If you're in the Train Sim World community, and many of you are, I know some of you are just here for Fernbus, but a lot of you do also play TSW. If you think about Dovetail, they do engage a lot more than other developers, don't they? So a lot of these games we get from Aerosoft, we very rarely get to hear from the devs, do we? We get to hear from the publisher. Now, TSW is a bit different because TSW is developed and published by Dovetail. So there is a slight difference. However, you know, the forums are quite active. You know, they're always in the forums. They're always live streaming. They're always showing the next bit. They have roadmap streams. We don't get roadmap streams for any of these games, do we? You know, you got to feed a little bit to the community, haven't you? You've got to show them that you're committed to listening to them, and it might take some time to fix things, but as long as the player base knows they're getting fixed, they'll put some faith in you. That's the way I see it. You know, I'm more likely to buy a DLC of somebody when I can see the game is being actively worked on by them, and not just, haha, there's the game, right, oh well, if anything goes wrong with it, tough. You know, they're not going to get a fix for that. Oh, shall we release this? Well, it's not quite ready yet. Oh yeah, but the players won't bother. They'll moan about it for 5 minutes and then they'll just stuck with it. So, you know that kind of attitude isn't going to work, is it? And we talked about it in the last stream we did for Fernbus. Some of you have not bought Fernbus yet because of your experience with Tourist Bus, because a lot of you saw Tourist Bus as something that was put out on console, and although it's a good game, it's got some issues, and you know, they've then effectively done a runner after they've put the game out, and so you've not picked this up, which is a bit of a shame because you're missing it. You are, well, you can see you're missing a bit of a treat with this one, and if it goes in a sale, certainly pick it up, you know, then you can have a laugh at them. But we've got our fingers crossed, we've all got our fingers crossed that they've been playing Tourist Bus, that is now also going to get the same updates that this has had. So the engine will be upgraded, the game engine, etc, etc. And then hopefully, you know, once again, as I just said, if they show some willingness to fix Tourist Bus, that will make you as a player base come over and buy this one. They know that, they're not daft, they do the marketing. Anyway, that's my lecture over. How are we doing? We've got, just over 100 kilometres to go. So, let's get that cruise back on. It's a shame that this is not working on the D-pad. So you can see now on the dashboard, I'm not going to zoom in on the dashboard, but you can see that the cruise icon, just as this guy comes up the side of me and I have to take the cruise off. The cruise icon was on the dashboard then. We're going to have to do it all over again. This is a problem, this checking up. There's no reason for these guys to go this slow. And I've got to wait for a space to get out without getting hit in the back. It's these trucks, isn't it? Look at these trucks here. Every single time we've had that so far on this run, it's been those trucks. And we weren't even on a hill, so it's not that it was struggling to get up a hill. Right, so let's do the cruise again. This is where having it on the D-pad is easy, because you don't have to wait for a straight to do it. You can just do it, you know, really easy anywhere you are at the flick of a switch. So I probably only used this bus. I bet I used this bus right at the beginning for the first run that I did on Fernbus, and maybe a couple of other short runs after that. I don't think I've used it you know, in any great way since then. So I can see coming up on the mini-map we've got these roadworks that we could see right at the beginning on the route map. So let's get into these. Cruise is going to have to come off again. We've got narrow lanes, we've got grass coming onto the carriageway. We've got this, we've got the concrete wall. I tell you what, it's narrow. This one's narrow, isn't it? This. I'm going to go over to the left while nobody's there, because it's a little bit wider. And then we're back to normal. We must have some more coming up. It looked like on the map at the beginning we had quite a lot coming up. 73 kilometres we will cruise once I get to a position where I'm not going to go straight across the motorway. Oh, wrong button again. See, that's me on the D-pad. Right, I'll sort that out in a second. Let's just get past this truck if we can. Right, we'll just come in on him. Not that one, that one. Oh, watch out! All spilled, thanks. See, these are the roadworks again. So I was right, we have got a few different sections of roadworks. Okay, not to worry. I mean, this is going to knock some points off. Yeah, no, I'm speeding. Okay. All good, all good. We scratched it a little bit, but I think the passengers were overreacting. We've got 55 kilometres to go. I bet you actually that we're going to come off soon. So I'll put the cruise on. Let me get back over this side because we're obviously having some brake checking going on again on this side. There's a truck coming up, look, can you see it in the distance? That might stop the traffic. But yeah, so far it's been quite a pleasant run, this one. And once we get to Biarritz, as I said, this will be another bus stop unlocked. I did have a look on France. I said I've not been to France for ages. I was just scanning the map before the video started. I do have a couple actually in France that I've not yet unlocked. I've been spending a heck of a lot of time in Germany, especially since in the patch we got the actual FlixBus routes. So I've been doing quite a few of those and unlocking some cities in Germany. And really just not come back to France. It's a shame because France has got some quite long runs in it. So we'll stay over this side. We're not going to Bordeaux today, although we have been to Bordeaux. We better slow down a little bit. It says you can still do 100, but it's not really advisable. I think 75 is fast enough for the bus. And here we have another red. So let's observe this. Just wait for that to change and we'll be off. We've only got 28 kilometres to go now. So, you know, 300 and, what was it, 309, 308 kilometres right at the start. It seemed like a massive journey, that. It's not really, is it? Not the way the game's set up. You can soon cover that. So, once again we've got a toll booth to go through. Let's pay our way. we don't hit it. That's it. Excellent. What is your guys' favourite bus anyway? Out of the standard ones that came with it, what's your favourite one? I mean, I like the MAN Lions Coach. I think it's the Lions Coach 2. I quite like that. Or no, the C. I like that one. I like the Skyliner as well, but the Skyliner's not. It's not suitable for every. It's not suitable for every journey. Would have been for this one actually. Is that going to hit me? Oh, it did stop. The AI stopped. I thought it was going to ram into the side of me. Yeah, the Man Lions Coach C, I think though, is my overall favourite out of the ones that come with it. What about you guys? Let me know down below. So we're just making our way around. We're as good as there. Lots of roundabouts around here, isn't there? I don't think I've seen as many in such a short space of time. Are we in Swindon or something? Right, you can wait. Wait! Oh, you just don't do that to me. You clown. People sat on benches there on the left. It's actually quite a nice day down here in Biarritz, isn't it? Okay, just making our way around to the stop. We'll get that unlocked. That'll be another one ticked off the list. I'm probably 95% or a little bit more through unlocking all the bus stops, I would say, just looking at the map. There's a heck of a lot of bus stops, isn't there? And you've got to zoom in the map to see, you know, really which ones you've got, which ones you haven't. Oh, I said it's a nice day. Look, it's raining. Commentator's curse, that, isn't it? Right, let's risk death again by putting these on. Hang on, let me go straighter, because it's right over here. There we go. But you've got to be impressed with those raindrops, haven't you? The road's not got very wet yet. Right, we are taking a right after this car. All the way to the right, in fact. There is our stop. Another bus here waiting. It's funny how some of the stops are just like this, they're just normal stops, yet others have quite elaborate, you know, bus stations and whatnot.
Wenn ich nur vorher gewusst hätte, wie schnell und günstig Fernbusse sein
Okay, they sound happy now, don't they, anyway, at least. So let's just pull in. Let's get us in neutral. Get a parking brake on. Let's get everybody out. The road's starting to get wet now. The pavement's looking good. The pavement is looking wet. Let's open this. Everyone's already got the bags out though. There they all are. Looking forward to a nice weekend once this rain clears up. And let's check and see actually how we did. So we'll just log out. We got 786 XP, all good on that screen. Everything is looking good on there too. You know we're going to get the reds. Property's damaged. We had a couple of scrapes, didn't we, in the roadworks? I mean, it was minor. It's not gonna take a lot off us. Safety distance we know about. We always get that. So we didn't do too bad. We didn't do too bad at all. We got a little bit knocked off for speeding. But that was it. That was Toulouse down to Biarritz. So I'll just show you the map once more before we finish, in case you want to also run this one. There it is, the bottom end of France. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. I do appreciate that. Thank you for all the likes and comments. I'll try to answer as many or all as I usually do. And take care, everybody. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.